In fact, South Korean coast guards regularly chase Chinese boats fishing illegally off the Korean coast, at times resulting in violent confrontations. Now, the disputes are an irritant in relations between Seoul and Beijing, even as the two share concerns about threats from Pyongyang. South Korea's Foreign Affairs Ministry summoned the Chinese ambassador to Seoul today, calling for swift and sincere measures by the Chinese government over its fishermen. Here's Kwon Soa.
South Korea's foreign ministry summoned China's ambassador to Seoul Tuesday to protest last week's sinking of a Korean Coast Guard vessel by a Chinese vessel fishing illegally in the West Sea. Deputy Foreign Minister Kim Hyong-zhin called Ambassador Chu Guo Hong to his office and demanded measures to prevent such incidents from recurring. The ministry had already lodged a complaint Sunday and summoned China's Consul General in Seoul. The government's action to raise the level of protest demonstrates the seriousness of the threat.
Considering the gravity and seriousness of the incident, we demand the Chinese government swiftly carry out measures such as an investigation, arrest and punishment of the attackers and vessel.
Seoul's deputy foreign minister was said to have emphasized that the incident represents a straight act of defiance against the South Korean government's authority, as well as a direct and systematic provocation against South Korea's law enforcement authority. Beijing's ambassador said the Chinese government is dealing with the issue in a sincere and responsible manner and that it will work with South Korea to find a solution. But while the Chinese officials in Seoul were said to have expressed their grievances on the issue, the Chinese Foreign Ministry's stance was somewhat different. The ministry spokesperson Geng Shuang said Monday during a regular press briefing that China hopes South Korea will handle the issue in a reasonable and cool-headed manner with consideration for the dual interests of bilateral ties and regional stability. With these conflicting positions, it remains to be seen how active the Chinese government will be in dealing with the problem and whether the issue could put a dent in Seoul-Beijing ties. Kwon Soa, Arirang News.